Hey, Bobby Trades! I wanted to do a video analysis update of the stock market. We're going to talk about the S&P 500. We're going to talk about the Nasdaq. We're going to talk about long-term setups. We're going to talk about short-term setups. And we're going to talk about everything in between. So we have a lot to talk about in this video. But first, I want to address a few comments that I've gotten that you guys want to make. You guys want to have some, tutorial videos, some educational videos. I'm talking about Elliott wave theory. I'm talking about Andrew's pitchforks. I'm talking about, implied volatility. And you guys want some tutorial specific videos, okay? And I really want to make those, okay? I really want to make those videos that are tutorial specific. But right now we are in a pivotal moment in the stock market right now. I would even say we're in a historical moment in the stock market right now. And I think it's best to be like Beethoven and learn how to play piano by ear. But I do want to make these videos educational, okay? I do. But first, let's talk about this post from March 8th. I said SPY is within wave 3 of wave 5 from the 924 low, and that takes it to 410 by the end of March to mid-April. From there, a shallow wave 4 correction to 395 occurs, and then the fifth wave will lead to a local top around 422. Okay? That was March 8th. Okay, that was March 8th. So I said caution above 406, 410. Well, guess what? SPY is above 410. So we need to assess the stock market right now. Okay, but first I want to make these videos educational. I really do. But I also want to, start learning to play piano by ear because that's really the best way to learn. So there's three really important points in this in this video that are educational that also really apply to the stock market right now. We're going to go over them one by one. Okay, the first is that Elliott waves are fractal in nature. Okay, so in nature, large degree waves subdivide into smaller degree waves. So what does that mean? Okay, what does this mean, this subdivision? Okay, Elliott waves are fractal in nature. Okay, think of it like one day being a subdivision or a fractal of 1 year. Okay, one day starts at midnight, and then the sun gets brighter and brighter and brighter throughout the day until it reaches noon. Okay, noon is the high point of the day. And then the sun gets darker and darker and darker and darker until it reaches midnight, okay? And then a new day starts. The sun gets brighter and brighter and brighter. It reaches its high point at noon, and then it gets darker and darker and darker until it reaches midnight, okay? 1 year starts in January, right after the winter solstice, okay? The winter solstice is December 21st. That is the darkest day of the year. Okay, so after December 21st, we start a new year in January, and the sun gets brighter and brighter and brighter. So the days get longer and longer and longer until June 21st. June 21st is the brightest point of the year. It's the longest day of the year. So just like noon is the high point in the sun for 1 day, June 21st is the high point of the sun for 1 year. And then it gets darker and darker and darker. The days get shorter and shorter and shorter until midnight, or the winter solstice, which is the darkest point of the year. And then a new year starts. Okay? So just like 1 day is a subdivision of 1 year is a larger degree of 1 day. And in Elliott wave theory, it is the exact same principle. Okay? Impulsive waves 1, 3, and 5 subdivide into 5 smaller impulsive waves. The corrective waves, which are waves 2 and wave 4, subdivide into 3 smaller ABC corrective waves. Okay, a great example of that is chevron. Okay, so this is the largest degree chart of chevron. The larger degree means the larger time horizon. Okay, so this is the largest degree wave 1 for chevron. It subdivides into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves impulse. So this large degree wave 1 subdivides into 5 smaller impulsive waves. Okay? Then we have an A, B, C correction to put in another large degree wave 2. So on the biggest time frames, it's important to look at Chevron. It's important to look at the airlines. I would even say Credit Suisse is an example of a bank that is put in the largest degree, wave 2, that exists in Elliott wave theory. So this isn't investment advice, but if a trader's time horizon that they measure their investments and their trades with is measured in years, it's important to understand that on the largest time horizons, we are at the beginning of a new bull market from the March low of 2020. Okay, the largest degree wave subdivides into 5 smaller impulsive waves. The large degree wave 2 subdivides into 3 smaller ABC corrective waves. Let's look at another example. Okay, this is American Airlines. This is the largest degree wave 1. This is the largest degree wave 2. This is the second largest degree wave 1. Then we have an ABC correction to put in the second largest degree wave 2. Okay, so what's going on here? This is the biggest time frame for American Airlines. We are completing a largest degree wave 1 and a largest degree wave 2, a second largest degree wave 1, and a second largest degree wave 2. So American Airlines on the largest time horizons is entering a wave 3 of wave 3. Just like Chevron is entering a generational wave 2 low, American Airlines is entering a generational wave 2 low, and it is going to explode. Okay, it is going to explode. If you take the length of wave 1, you place it at the wave 2 low, American Airlines is going to 65. 65 is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. That is the conservative target for wave 3, because wave 3 is always, I should say, bigger than wave 1. Okay, but let's look at this American Airlines chart. Let's talk about that fractal nature, okay? Waves are fractal in nature, just like one day is a fractal of 1 year. Larger degree waves subdivide into smaller degree waves, just like 1 year subdivides into smaller degree days, okay? American Airlines. Let's look at this wave 1 right here, and let's notice something about it. This wave 1 subdivides into 5 smaller degree impulsive waves. So remember, waves 2 and waves 4 are the corrective waves. They subdivide into A, B, C, 3 waves corrective structures, okay? So this is a wave 4. It subdivides into an A, B, C correction, okay? This large degree wave 1 subdivides into 5 smaller degree impulsive waves. So waves 1, waves 3, and wave 5 subdivide into 5 smaller degree impulsive waves. Okay? So this is our wave 1. It subdivides into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller degree impulsive structure. Okay? All of the impulsive waves, which are waves 1, wave 3, and wave 5, subdivide into smaller degree waves. Okay? So let's look at this wave 3. Is there a subdivision of this wave 3? There is. This wave 3 subdivides into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller degree impulsive waves. Okay? So that's the fractal nature of markets. The larger degree impulsive structure subdivides into 5 smaller degree impulsive waves. Okay? So let's go back to this chart real quick. I said that SPY was entering wave 3 of wave 5 from the 924 low. So right there, wave 3 of wave 5, I'm saying wave 3 is a smaller degree of wave 5. So let's look at SPY right now. Let's look at this chart, okay? This is the wave 1. This is the wave 2 low. This is the wave 3. This is the wave 4 low, okay? We have entered wave 3 of wave 5, okay? This is wave 1 of wave 5. This is wave 2 of wave 5. Wave 3 of wave 5 goes to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay? So if we're, going by the book here, this is the wave 3 target. Okay? The wave 3 target is the 161.8% extension of wave 1 on whatever degree you're trading. So on the smaller degree time frames, if we're going by the book, we should be running into some resistance here at wave 3. Okay? That's why I said that 410, we should have caution above 410 because that was the 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay? We are above 410. So if we're just looking at SPY, which I always say is a terrible idea, if we're just looking at SPY on these smaller degree time horizons, it's probably important to prepare for a shallow wave 4 correction. Okay? This is a smaller degree. Remember, on the biggest time horizons, we're at the beginning of a bull market. Okay? I'm not selling any long-term investments. I'm not selling any long-term holdings. I'm not even selling any leap call positions. Okay? On the shorter term time frames, however, SPY is entering or ending wave 3 of wave 5. Okay? So let's say hypothetically, if we're just looking at SPY, we got a pullback here. Well, 410 still wouldn't mark the top because this is wave 1 of wave 5. This is wave 2 of wave 5. This is wave 3 of wave 5. We'd be ending wave 4 of wave 5 at the 38.2% retracement of wave 3. So in Elliott wave theory, there's wave 1. Okay? On whatever degree you're trading, it's wave 1. It all starts with wave 1. The textbook wave 2 correction is the 61.8% retracement of wave 1. The textbook wave 3 is the 161.8% extension of wave 1. The textbook wave 4 is the 38.2% retracement of wave 3. The textbook wave 5 is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. So if we're just looking at SPY, which I always say is a terrible idea, and we'll look at other indices too, if we're just looking at SPY, by the book, we should be ending a wave 3 on a pretty small degree time frame here. We would then be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction to 395, assuming we end around 410. Okay? The higher that wave 3 extends, the higher that this 38.2% retracement number will be. Okay? So, assuming we end at 410, we'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction to the 38.2% retracement, which is about 395. Okay? From there, we'd be looking for at least another wave higher. So we'd be looking for wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low, which would take SPY to around 420. Well, what happens if that plays out perfectly? Then SPY is ending wave 5 of wave 5. Okay? And that's just SPY. Let's talk about the second, really important point. This educational point that really applies to the market right now. The negative or inverted 123.6% retracement of an ABC correction is the next place for algos to take profits. Okay, what does that mean? What on earth does that mean? Okay, the stock market is run by high frequency trading algorithms that are programmed by institutions. Okay, so a big mistake that a lot of traders will make is they'll say something silly like, who's buying up here? Okay, it's almost as if they think that because their coworkers or their cousins, aren't buying SPY at 400 that it can't go higher. Okay, that's a very silly thing to say. The market is moved by high frequency trading algorithms. I'll prove that right now. But one of the favorite places for these high frequency trading algorithms to be programmed to take profits is the negative 123.6% retracement of an ABC correction. Okay? What does that mean? Let's look at Bitcoin right here. Bitcoin has an ABC correction in January. Okay? So if you take the high of wave A and you connect it with the high of wave C and you take the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of the ABC correction, then that gave you to the dollar the exact top for Bitcoin. Okay, so human beings, they didn't decide that they were going to take profits on Bitcoin at exactly 58K. Computer algorithms are programmed to take profits at the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of this ABC correction. So that's why Bitcoin topped at exactly 58K. The analogy I like to use is that being in any index or any stock past the 123.6% inverted retracement is like being at a party, past 1 a.m. Okay, you've probably missed most of the fun, unless you're in Europe. In Europe, they party till like 6 a.m. But you've probably missed most of the fun if you're in a party in America past 1 a.m. Okay, it's probably time to call a Lyft. It's probably time to call an Uber. If you stay longer than 1 a.m., you're asking for trouble. Okay, so the 123.6% inverted retracement is the next place to take profits. ABC correction, connect the high of wave A with the low of wave C, gives you the negative 123.6% inverted retracement. Let's look at another example. NXTD, same thing. Okay, NXTD next ID has an A, B, C correction. The 123.6% inverted retracement of the ABC correction gave you to the penny, the next place to take profits. So your cousins and your co-workers, they didn't decide to take profits at the negative 123.6% inverted retracement. Okay? So why is that applying to the market right now? Well, if you look at the S&P 500, and you take this really important low in the market right now is really the September low. Okay, what I refer to as the pre-election sell-off. Okay, if you take the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of that September sell-off, which took the form of an A, B, C correction, then that gave you 406, essentially. Okay, that's why in this chart, we had 406 as a very important level. Okay, so we look at the S&P 500 on SPY. I have it marked out that the negative 123.6% inverted retracement is 406.89. Okay, SPY's past that level. It is also past the 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay, so SPY, if we're just looking at SPY, it's, time to be cautious. Okay, if we're just looking at SPY. I'll show you why I keep emphasizing that in a second. Let's look at this important point. If we take an ABC correction from the September sell-off, the negative 123.6% extension of this ABC correction is about 406. We're past that level. But what's really important to realize is that from this September low, SPY dramatically outperformed QQQ. Okay, SPY dramatically outperformed the Nasdaq, and we can prove that right now. Okay, so let's look at this same exact ABC correction for the election sell-off. These are the exact same points, this high in September, this low in late September. We take this ABC correction for the Nasdaq NQ futures. We'll look at QQQ in a second. We see the Nasdaq is not even close to the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of the ABC correction from the September sell-off. But SPY is past that level. Okay, so if we're just looking at SPY, we should be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction before a fifth wave higher. So even if SPY reversed right here at 410, we wouldn't say that 410 is the top, because we'd be looking for another wave 5 higher, which is at least the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. Okay, we should also note one big reason that I am expecting the Nasdaq to heavily outperform SPY, the S&P 500, in the coming weeks and the coming months, one big reason is because QQQ has not yet reached the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of this September sell-off. Okay, so let's look at QQQ right now. Let's get really nitty-gritty on QQQ. This is an ABC correction that we had in mid-February, late March. Okay, so we had an ABC correction, and then we had a wave 1, an ABC correction put in a wave 2 low, and then wave 3 goes to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay, so let's say sometime next week, hypothetically, we wake up and QQQ is at 340 and SPY is still above 410. Well, then both SPY and QQQ would be due for a shallow wave 4 correction before taking a fifth wave higher on the same degree. Okay, so SPY is already at the wave 3 target. If we woke up sometime next week and QQQ was at 340, then that would do two things. First, it would confirm this ABC correction is complete. Okay, that's extremely bullish. That'd be extremely good news for Tesla, Apple, all the big tech names, to know that QQQ had confirmed this was a completed ABC correction. What it would also do is it would confirm that this is a wave 3 from this low. Okay, so if a wave 3 goes to or past the 161.8% extension of the wave 1 or wave A, then it has to be a wave 3. So if we woke up sometime next week and QQQ was at 340 and SPY was above 410, then by the counts I have, we would be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction to the 38.2% retracement of the wave 3 rally. Okay, right now, assuming we ended there, that would take SPY to 395. That would take QQQ to 327. Okay, and this is a pretty small degree. Remember, on the larger time frames, we're in the beginning of a bull market. On the very short-term time frame, from the September low, we're starting to see the wave 5 of wave 5. Okay, I think it's really cool. I had some of these levels marked out. I said SPY 380 to 382. This is from January 5th. Calling a top before there, you're going to look silly. Okay, check. SPY 390, 392 was an ideal place to exit SPY and QQQ. Okay, so we reached 392. We had 392 marked down because that was a very simple bull flag target. You took the length of wave 1, you placed it the wave 2 low. That gave you 392. Okay, so we reached 392. I came out, I said we were looking for a shallow, it wasn't as shallow as I thought it would be, but we were looking for a wave 2 correction before a wave 3 higher. Okay, so if we woke up and we saw that QQQ was at 340 and SPY was above 410, we'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction. Okay, for QQQ, that would take it down to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3, which would be around 327. Then we'd be looking to ride a wave 5 higher, which is at minimum the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. So for QQQ, the Nasdaq, I have it marked right here as a note that 14,616 is the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of the September sell-off. Okay, if we did that for QQQ, which I'm not going to do because it would mess up all my markings, and I don't want to do that. If we did that for QQQ, the negative 123.6% retracement is 357. Okay, so 14,616 on NQ translates to 357 on QQQ. Okay, I think that's really interesting because if we had a wave 1, an ABC correction wave 2, and we reached wave 3 at 340, the wave 5 target placed at the wave 4 low would take QQQ to 354. Okay, so let's just go over, kind of the perfect scenario. Okay, it probably won't play out exactly like this. Well, let's say we wake up next week, SPY's at 410, QQQ's at 340. On the smaller term time frames, I'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction for QQQ to 327. I'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction for SPY to 395. That brings us to the third and final point of this video. Okay, this turns off a lot of people from Elliott wave theory. Okay, this is the major flaw of Elliott wave theory. In my opinion, it's the only flaw of Elliott wave theory. Okay, ABC corrective waves. So ABC corrections are not guaranteed to happen because impulse waves can extend indefinitely. So what does that mean? Right? Indefinite, uncertain. You know, we don't like those words, right? Well, this is the biggest flaw. In my opinion, it's the only flaw with Elliott wave theory. Okay? You don't short corrective waves. Okay? You don't gain corrective waves because the impulse of waves can extend indefinitely. Okay? So what do? You prepare for anticipated pullbacks. You don't short them. Okay? So no one in their right mind would short QQQ from 340 to 327 to try to game this 38.2% wave 4 retracement. Okay? No one in their right mind would short SPY from 410 to 395 trying to game this wave 4 correction. The proper way to play it, okay, the proper way to play it is exactly how this user played it. Okay? I got, a message I really liked from my tweets and replies. He said, from my video, we're above 410. I have a small hedge and cash ready to buy dips. Okay? The proper way to game ABC corrections in Elliott wave theory is to gather a cash position to buy dips. Okay? So let me explain what I'm doing personally in my account. I'm taking a cash position on shorter term time frames to buy a correction in the market in the future on the larger degrees that I'm anticipating. I'm not touching any of my shareholdings. Okay, I want to make that very clear. I'm not selling any long-term shareholdings. Okay, I've talked a lot about long-term investing in the past couple of months because I've recognized we're starting to get late into the cycle from the 924 low. So I'm not selling any long-term shareholdings, and I'm not even selling any leap calls, right? Any options that expire in 6 or 7 months, I'm not even selling. And here's why. Okay, let's say that I am, perfectly right? I get this absolutely perfectly. What are we looking for the S&P 500? Okay, what would we be looking for the S&P 500? This is the primary wave count that I'm going with, and I think that this is right. I think we have a lot of proof that this is right, and I'll go over some of that evidence certainly. This is the primary wave count that I'm going with. Let's say that SPY ends this rally around 4,213. Okay? Hypothetically, let's say I get this perfectly right. Let's say SPY ends this rally from the September low, and it looks something like this. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then wave 5. Ends this rally from the 924 low at exactly basically 420. Okay, that would complete a subdivision of a larger degree, wave 1. Okay, then I would be expecting that this sell-off that we got that ended this rally from the 924 low would be a generational buying opportunity somewhere in this box. Okay, the lower end of this box would be around 360. The shallow end of this box would be around 380. Okay, I think that would be a historical generational buying opportunity. I'm not interested in shorting SPY at 420. I'm interested in accumulating a cash position to buy dips in the market, okay? And here's why. This is the primary account that I'm going with. I really want to emphasize, I'm not selling any long-term holdings, okay? That's just a personal decision, okay? So what's the primary bigger picture count that I'm looking for right now? It looks something like this. Okay, I'll just be completely honest. It looks something like this. This is the primary count that I have. From the March low, this is the wave 1, and this is the wave 2. This 5 waves impulse structure that we are seeing is ending a larger degree wave 1. So this would be 4,200. This would be ending a larger degree wave 1. From there, I would be looking for a wave 2 correction. And this would be a generational buying opportunity if we got it. Why? Because this would be completing a 1-2, 1-2 nest for SPY and the S&P 500. Okay? So I want to make that very clear. I'm looking for a generational buying opportunity when we complete this rally from the September low. Okay? If we look at QQQ, there's a lot of evidence that the rally isn't over yet. But this is the bigger picture that I'm looking for SPY right now. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, and then we explode to 4,600 to 500 and beyond. Okay? On the shorter term time frames, however, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is wave 3, this is wave 4. We're starting to enter the later stages of this rally from 924. Okay, so what's the evidence that the market hasn't topped yet, right? We've passed 406, we've passed 410. What is the concrete evidence that the stock market hasn't topped yet? Okay, there's a couple of things. The first is, and foremost, is from QQQ, okay? First, the Nasdaq has yet to reach the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of this sell-off, this ABC correction in September. So that's why I am really expecting that the Nasdaq will heavily outperform the S&P 500 in the coming weeks, in the coming months. Okay? If we look at QQQ, this is another really good example of evidence that the stock market has not topped yet. Okay? So, I'm not trying to be an alarmist. I'm trying to get into our heads that we should not be making fun of the bears anymore, okay? We were in bears look like clowns territory. Now we're in, we can't be laughing like hyenas here, okay? So the Nasdaq is a really good piece of evidence that we haven't topped yet, okay? Even SPY is a really good piece of evidence that we haven't topped yet because it's ending wave 3 of wave 5. We'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction, and then we'd still be looking for a wave 5 higher to 420. Okay? But QQQ, wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2. If QQQ and SPY, if QQQ reached 340 and SPY was above 410, both of them would be due for a shallow wave 4 correction before a 5th wave higher, which would be found by taking the length of wave 1 and placing it at the wave 4 low. That would take QQQ to 354 from 327, and that would be almost a perfect match with the 123.6% inverted retracement of the September sell-off. Okay? So QQQ, big piece of evidence, the stock market has not topped yet. Okay? What's another big piece of evidence? Microsoft. Microsoft is a large component of SPY, and it's a large component of QQQ. So I haven't touched my Microsoft chart in weeks, okay? But this is a very good example of why, we kind of know the stock market hasn't topped yet, okay? And remember, even when we're talking about the top, I should put air quotes around that. Because remember, we're in the very early stages of a bull market. If we look at American Airlines, if we look at Chevron, if we look at Credit Suisse even, we're in the early stages of a bull market, putting in large degree generational wave 2 lows. I want to kind of mentally prepare us for getting exactly what this user said, getting a cash position ready to buy dips in the future, okay? You know, Big Al has the right idea. We're at 410, get some cash ready to buy some dips. What's the evidence that the stock market hasn't topped yet? Besides QQQ and besides SPY itself, which would still be looking for a fifth wave higher, besides the fact QQQ has not yet reached the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of the September sell-off, Microsoft is a very good piece of evidence the market hasn't topped yet. So, Microsoft, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, large degree wave 1, right? The wave 1 subdivides into 5 smaller degree waves. Then we have an A, B, C correction to put in a larger degree wave 2. And then we're looking for a wave 1 and a wave 2. We had this big wave 3 higher. So I've had this marked out for a while. Microsoft is not yet at the very conservative target of 258. Okay? So on the Microsoft count, which is a large holding of SPY, is a large holding of QQ, we see just in this chart a lot of evidence the stock market hasn't topped yet. Okay? This is wave 1. This is wave 2. The wave 3 target conservatively is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low. So if I clear this up, let's say hypothetically, Microsoft stops at exactly 258, okay? If Microsoft stopped at exactly 258, here's what the Microsoft count would look like, okay? We've really got Microsoft's number, okay? It would look something like this. This is the wave 1, and this is the ABC correction to put in the wave 2 low. So Microsoft, big holding of QQQ, big holding of SPY, and we have evidence that Microsoft hasn't topped. That will further add to our thesis. The stock market hasn't topped yet either. Let's say that the conservative target of 258 is reached. That would be a wave 3. The 38.2% retracement of wave 3, remember, is the textbook wave 4 scenario. Okay, so let's just pause and look at this right now. If we woke up on, let's say we woke up Tuesday morning and SPY was above 410 and QQQ was at 340 and Microsoft was at 258. All 4 of these charts, by these counts, would be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3. For QQQ, assuming 340 was the wave 3 high, that would take it to 327 before a fifth wave higher. For SPY, assuming 410 is the high, that would take it to 395 before a fifth wave higher to 420. For Microsoft, assuming that 258 was the high, that would take it to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3, which would be 245. Microsoft then would be looking for yet another wave 5 higher, which is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low. Okay, another thing you're going to learn in Elliott wave theory, the textbook wave 4 low will retest the high of wave 1 unless it's an ending diagonal or a leading diagonal. We'll get into those terms in later videos. The wave 4 low should not break the wave 1 high. Okay, so wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, that would take Microsoft, as crazy as it sounds, into the high 270s. Okay, so that right there is some glaring evidence that the stock market hasn't topped yet. We're talking about Microsoft appearing to be incomplete until the 270s, right? 279 would be the next target if Microsoft topped for this wave 3 at 258, pulled back to the textbook wave 4 of 245. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low would take Microsoft to 279. Okay, let's go over some other evidence that the stock market hasn't topped yet. Okay, XLY. I haven't touched this chart in a very long time. Okay, I haven't touched this chart in weeks, and I'm not going to touch this chart because it's just perfect right now. Okay, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, ABC correction, wave 4. So, XLY has a wave 1 of wave 5, a wave 2 of wave 5, and a wave 3 of wave 5. Okay? If XLY reaches 183, then just like QQQ, just like SPY, just like Microsoft, then XLY would be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction. Let's say for argument's sake, because I don't want to touch this chart, that the wave 4 correction perfectly retested the high of this wave 1. Then the XLY fifth wave target, after a shallow wave 4 correction, would take it all the way to 190. Okay, so I'm not saying the stock market's going to top tomorrow. Okay, I don't think it would be responsible if I posted a video and said, hey, the stock market's topping tomorrow, good luck. Okay, what I'm trying to do is say if we zoom out, we are starting to end this rally from the 924 low. Okay, SPY looks to be completing wave 3 of wave 5 from the 924 low. Okay, it's also past the negative 123.6% inverted retracement of the ABC correction that was formed in September. So I'm heavily expecting that QQQ will strongly outperform SPY in the coming weeks, in the coming months. Okay, SPY is getting late in this cycle. Okay, but longer term, I wouldn't touch anything. I'm not touching any shareholdings. And here's why. Once SPY ends this cycle from this low, it is going to be entering a generational buying opportunity in the 360 to 380 zone. Let's assume SPY tops at exactly 4,200. Okay, let's assume that's the exact top for this cycle from the September low. Then this correction right here would be a generational buying opportunity. So rather than be afraid of the fact that we're at 410 and QQQ is near 340 and Microsoft is near 358, we should be excited at the opportunity to get some cash ready without selling everything, accumulating a small cash position to buy this generational wave 2 dip in the stock market. Okay, this would be a wave 1 and a wave 2. This would be a wave 1. This would be a wave 2. This is a generational wave 2 dip that we could be having cash ready in anticipation to buy, to fly to 4,600 and beyond. Now, is there some money to be made in the stock market between now and then? I think so. Okay, and that brings me to my kind of last piece of evidence that the stock market hasn't topped, and that's in Boeing. Okay, I think Boeing might be one of the better setups for this kind of end the cycle run in the stock market. Okay, so I'm gonna have to zoom out on Boeing a little bit, but Boeing has a wave 1 and a wave 2, and then it breaks above this wave 1 high, and then it has another wave 2 correction, and then it breaks above both of these wave 1 highs. So Boeing is confirmed from an Elliott wave perspective to be within a wave 3 of wave 3 Elliott wave nest. Okay, if we take the beginning of wave 1 connected with the high of wave 1 and the low of wave 2, we have gorgeous reactions on the median of the pitchfork. We have gorgeous reactions on the lower bound. Boeing looks ready to run to the equal legs target conservatively of 296. Okay, that's conservative because in Elliott wave 3 is actually longer than wave 1, and that would just be taking the length of wave 1, placing it at the wave 2 low. The 161.8% extension of wave 1 would take Boeing to 307. Okay, from there we would be looking for some profit taking before a fifth wave higher. Okay, so if we believe Boeing is incomplete until it reaches 300, I think this happens, in the next 6 weeks. We see this, 40, 50 point rally in Boeing. Okay, obviously I'm not buying a call that expires in 4 weeks. I'm just saying, I do expect that we're having a melt up in the market. Okay, when we talk about Microsoft being, poised for 279 after it consolidates at 258, we talk about QQQ being ready for 354 after it consolidates from 340. I'm not trying to come out and be an alarmist. I'm not trying to say the stock market's topping tomorrow. I'm saying that, we're SPY past some of these important Fibonacci levels. It might be time to start zooming out, start looking at the bigger picture in the stock market, and getting some cash ready to buy what I believe will be a generational wave 2 low, to buy a nest in the market. Okay, long-term shareholdings I'm not touching, because the American Airlines chart and the Chevron chart proves that we are within a massive beginning of a bull market on the larger term time frames. On the smaller term time frames, SPY is getting late in the cycle from this low, and it may be prudent to have a cash position to buy this wave 2 dip that we can anticipate around, once SPY is above 420, once QQQ is above 354, once Microsoft is in the 370s, anticipating that this blow off top is complete. Until then, one of my favorite setups right now to catch the end of this rally would be Boeing. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2. If Boeing holds above 231, I suspect it is going to 296 to 307 in the next 4 to 6 weeks. It is going to run to the median of this pitchfork. Okay? Let's talk about some setups that I've talked about. I just want to update a little bit. EBON right here with Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum running. EBON looks ready to go. Looks like it's shaking out all the weak hands. Okay, when we talk about this fractal nature of markets, this is a large degree wave 1. We have an ABC correction to put in a large degree wave 2. Okay, so we have an A, B, C correction, and this is a larger degree wave 2 low for EBON. Okay, so the larger degree invalidation for EBON is 3.81. Okay, from there it is expected that EBON is forming a leading diagonal. Okay, a leading diagonal. Essentially, it's a little more complicated. The only reason I'm bringing up as a leading diagonal is because I'll get a lot of questions. Why is wave 4 allowed to overlap the high of wave 1? If it's a leading diagonal or an ending diagonal, then you actually expect wave 4 will overlap the high of wave 1. It's sort of like a wedge, that we're seeing. A lot of accumulation for EBON right now before this explosive run to the median of the pitchfork. Okay, we can see right now with our own eyes, if EBON runs to the median of the pitchfork, that's going to take it above 14.95. We're talking about EBON, tripling from this, $5 low. We should expect, the big money is not going to make this a fun hold. It's going to do everything in its power to wipe us out. Okay, but the larger degree invalidation is this wave 2 low of 3.81. The shorter term invalidation is 4.42. Okay, so there's a couple ways to count this. The first is that this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, this is a wave 3, this is a wave 4, and then EBON is beginning wave 3 of wave 5. Okay, I'm honestly really interested in EBON as a long-term hold for myself personally. I think there's a lot of money to be made on the swing, but I think that EBON, the 9, NCTY, NXTD, Next ID, and SOS Limited, those are good opportunities in the short term, but they're also really good opportunities in the long term, especially when you think about, the idea that the crypto bull market's in its late stages, or not in its late stages, but, a lot of people missed the train on this one. But I think the crypto mining bull market, this is kind of like the shovels and the pickaxes for the gold rush. This bull market is just getting started, okay? So EBON is going to go, at minimum, the length of wave 1, place at the wave 2 low, and that would take EBON above this high right here of 12.71, okay? But I think the bigger picture for EBON is that it's going to go to the median of this pitchfork. Okay, we can see with our own eyes that would take EBON above this high. That would confirm all of this was basing, and we'd just be looking for a massive rally. Talking about EBON well into the 20s, well into the 30s. On the longer term cycles, I think EBON right now, there's a lot of money to be made. Just going to break above this high of 12.71, and just breaking above this high of 13.70. So we have a wave 1, an ABC correction, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 1 of wave 5, wave 2 of wave 5, wave 3 of wave 5, EBON's exploding to the median of this pitchfork. Okay, the invalidation levels are going to be down here at 4.42 and 3.81. Another way to count it, of course, is that this isn't a wave 3 or 4, that EBON is just nesting. That's a perfectly valid count too, that we are just continuing to nest and just build up this massive, spring coil right now for EBON. The supply is becoming demand, and EBON's being heavily accumulated, shaking out the weak hands and ready to explode, past this high and much higher in the longer term cycles. Okay? Huya is flirting with a degree of invalidation. Okay, so this is the largest degree, wave 1 for Huya. We have an A, B, C correction, wave 2 for Huya. So the largest degree invalidation will be if this wave 2 low of 11.78 is broken. When I previously talked about Huya, I said that the smaller degree invalidation is 18.14, because that would invalidate if this was a wave 1 or this was a wave 2. So if we break up below 18.14, then this won't be a completed 1-2. We would have to break below 11.78 to invalidate this largest degree count. Okay, but I don't think it's any accident that Huya hasn't broken below 18.14 yet. Okay, so let's assume right now that 18.14 holds as the low for Huya. On the longer term charts and as a swing, huge opportunity here for Huya. Okay, so let's just assume, and maybe this isn't a good assumption, but let's assume that 18.14 isn't broken. Okay, then this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2. The 161.8% extension of wave 1 for Huya would take it to 42. So right then and there, we're talking about Huya more than doubling. Okay, so we're expecting this stock to more than double. This recent IPO, growth stock in a growth sector, Chinese internet, the gaming sector. This is not going to be made easy for us by the institutions. I do believe we're being shaken out right here. I think if 18.14 holds as the low, it's going to be no accident. Huya would be set to go to the 161.8% extension of wave 1, which would take it to 42.26. The shallow wave 4 correction would be the 38.2% retracement of wave 3, taking it to 33, before a final wave 5 higher, which is the length of wave 1, placed at the wave 4 low. Okay? That would take Huya to 51, and that would be breaking this wave 1 high. That'd be confirming all of this is basing, all of this is consolidation. Huya is ready to explode. Okay? So 18.14 holds as the low. Huya is ready for the 161.8% extension, shallow wave 4 correction, wave 5 higher. Okay? Another opportunity I believe in the market is occurring right now. I'm just going to go to my home page right now for this. This is FSLR. We've talked about FSLR a lot. Let's look at the big bird view right now. Huge base forming on FSLR, multi-year structure. Wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2, wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2. I came out on March 5th at the exact low, and I said this looks like it's forming a giant nest for FSLR. Okay, so I think that the Nasdaq is going to outperform SPY. I think clean energy is going to be, the hot sector for this summer. Okay, I think it's almost ironic that we're making fun of Cathie Wood right now. We're not going to be making fun of Cathie Wood this summer. We're not going to be making fun of growth in EV bulls this summer. Okay, I can assure you of that. But on the shorter term time frame, if we look at FSLR, I think this is a really pretty cool picture of a microcosm of what I'm looking for in the stock market. Okay, this is the wave 1, an ABC correction, wave 2, and then wave 3 would go to the 161.8% extension of wave 1. Okay, that takes it to 94.56. A shallow wave 4 correction would take FSLR to 87.22, and then we would be looking for a fifth wave higher to 103. Okay, so I think clean energy, EV and solar, these are going to be the biggest outperformers in the coming weeks. Definitely the biggest outperformers this summer. Okay, because once FSLR completes this impulse from this low, assuming that the wave 1 from this low ended at 103, then this ABC correction, wave 2, would be an insane buying opportunity for FSLR, in the low 80s before it exploded higher to these, these summer targets. We talk about 165 even being a summer target for FSLR. On the shorter term time frames, I think that, a pretty good swing right here would be making sure that 75 would be the stop, 68 would be the invalidation. If 75 was broken, this wouldn't be a wave 2 complete. But I really do believe this is a wave 2 complete. And if 75 holds us the low, I think a pretty good opportunity in the stock market right now, probably the best swing opportunity besides Boeing, to catch the tail end of this melt up, would be FSLR with a stop below 75, riding to 94. Shallow wave 4 correction would be worth riding out. Then a fifth wave higher to 103. A lot of money to be made there. And once that 103 target is hit, this would be an insane buying opportunity to catch this wave 2 low. Okay, so real quick, I just want to recap, the stock market I've talked about a lot. I didn't mean to be an alarmist in this video. I meant to be a little educational, but let's just, recap. The stock market has not topped yet. Okay, the stock market has not topped yet. We have a lot of evidence. Okay, the biggest piece of evidence comes from the Nasdaq itself. ABC correction, wave 1, ABC correction, wave 2, wave 3 of 340 is the 161.8% extension. Okay, that will confirm a wave 3 in progress. Once this wave 3 is over, even if we had a pullback, it would be shallow and we'd still be looking for a fifth wave higher. That fifth wave higher would take QQQ to 354. Okay, if we woke up Tuesday, Wednesday morning and QQQ was at 340, and SPY was above 410, both QQQ and SPY would be due for a shallow wave 4 correction to 300 to the 38.2% retracement of wave 3 before a fifth wave higher. So we have a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4. We're starting to enter the late stages, okay? Wave 5 of wave 5 is where this cycle would be due to end. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I don't think it's going to end in the next 3 weeks. I just want to get it into our minds that we should be looking and having some cash ready to buy dips. Okay, SPY above 410, QQQ above 340, Microsoft above 258. We'd be looking for a shallow wave 4 correction regardless. Okay, and we'd be looking for a fifth wave higher. Once SPY goes on this fifth wave higher, it will have completed wave 5 of wave 5. It should be around the same time that QQQ completes wave 5 of wave 5, which would take it all the way to 354. Once wave 5 of wave 5 is complete, that is a small degree end of cycle from this election low. Okay, I would not sell, or I am not selling any long-term shareholdings because the charts of American Airlines and the charts of Chevron prove we are in a very long-term, early stages of a bull market. Okay, not even to mention the commodities, silver, the price of meat. This is, be ready for hyperinflation, and that's going to be very good for the stock market. Okay, but if we look at SPY, it is starting to enter wave 5 of wave 5. QQQ, the writing's on the wall for it to enter wave 5 of wave 5. Microsoft, the writing's on the wall for it to enter wave 5 of wave 5. It's not going to end this week. It's probably not even going to end this month. But I could definitely see a sell in May moment, okay? But you wouldn't want to go away. You wouldn't want to sell in May and go away. Because assuming we top at exactly 4,200, a level that I've had marked out as, quote unquote, the top for a while, assuming we top there, you wouldn't want to sell in May and go away. You'd want to have cash ready to buy dips, because this would be a generational buying opportunity in the 360 to 380 range before we explode out of a nest. And SPY is on its way to 460, 500 towards the end of this year.